Thank you, everyone. I'll start with the first question and then we'll go to in the room. Mirra, congratulations. Obviously a very tough opponent, but how did you get out of that first round match to progress through?
Yeah, she started pretty well in the beginning. I also felt like I started well, but then she was very aggressive. She was going for her shots. She hit a lot of winners, and after I just tried to stay in the match, do my thing, stick to the plan, and then in the end it worked.
Great. Questions, thanks. Dave.
Hi, Mirra. Donna has won a lot of matches like this in the past against big players in the first round. Like when you found out you had to play her, what was your reaction? How much did you know of her history coming into this?
Well, I played against her once in Beijing. It was also three set, and I knew that obviously she's a tough player, but I was still playing a tournament in Adelaide, and I tried not to really pay attention to the draw in Melbourne because I still had to focus on what's going on here because I had a tournament to play. But yeah, when I saw the draw and the first round opponent is Donna, I was like, well, it's not the easiest draw, I would say, because she's obviously a very experienced player. She plays pretty good. So, yeah, I was not pretty happy when I saw the draw.
David.
Hi, Mirra. I think that was the third time this year that you've lost the first set in one of your matches. And a couple of times I've seen you go a breakdown and then work your way back into matches. They're quite short, best of three sets. Has it been something that has changed over the last year that has helped you to not panic, I suppose, if you go behind?
Yeah, I feel like because all of you guys, you start to notice it as well. I feel like we put a lot of work into that. Obviously, the whole past year, I was still working on the little details to, no matter what happens, to always stick to the plan, not to lose the focus or not to get into the panic mode when something doesn't go according to the plan. And now I feel like I really understand that it's kind of easier for me to focus on that when I'm playing a match. I don't know, maybe because I'm finally getting smarter, and it's just easier for me to realize that the panic won't help here. The only thing that's going to help is if I stay calm, I listen to what my team says, to what Conchita, says, and then the only chance that I have to win the match is to do the right things, the things that I was told by my coach, and that's it.
Taman?
Mirra, well played. Just have to ask then, in what way are you finally getting smarter?
Well, in some ways, for example, like now what I've said that it's easier for me to understand and to realize what's going on court and how to react or not to react on certain situations. Or I feel like I've also maybe I'm gaining a little bit more experience by being on the tour. I really feel like I'm changing a little bit. I don't waste energy, for example, on some things. I'm getting smarter also because I just do what my team says now. It's kind of, I'm also a little bit lazy to fight against them, to do my thing. They told me to go, I go. They told me to stay, I stay, Maybe in this kind of ways, I just, became a little smarter and just listen to what they say.
In the past, you'd fight it more and question more.
Well, in the past, because I still am a teenager, and there everything was kind of new to me. So I just wanted to do things my way sometimes, and sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't work. But now I just don't care. I do whatever they say and whatever they ask me to, and that's it.
Vicky?
Hi, Mirra. Your next opponent is Maria Sakkari, and you're facing her for the first time. Your thoughts on that match?
Yeah, I mean, Maria, she's also a very experienced player. I think she's a hitter as well. She likes to play aggressive. I never actually watched like a full match of hers. We've practiced once only in Paris, so I do have an idea of how she plays, but I wouldn't say that I know her pretty well. So from now on, it's Conchita's job to tell me whatever I have to do on the next match.
wanted to ask you a question about Aryna Sabalenka. Though a lot of times world number ones can be closed off and keep to themselves, but Aryna seems very social. She's filming TikToks with you guys. Just as someone who's still as young as you are and working around to tour, what does it mean to have a world number one who is as accessible as Aryna appears to be?
Well, I think it's great because, she is very active on social media. As you said, she shows a lot of the things that are going on tour. I would be honest, I do kind of like to watch her stories. It's pretty interesting. She does a good job of, keeping the kind of the mood in the social media of being funny and doing a lot of activities with the fans and just keeping the fans in touch when she's not playing tournaments. So I think it's great. Also, I think that all of the people are different, and for example, when Iga was the number one in the world, we all know she's more like a quiet person. She does everything well on the court, and then I feel like she's maybe more closed, but I think we are different people, and she is kind of, I don't know, active. Aryna is active and likes to talk a lot, and she does TikToks and videos, and there is a place for everyone, and I don't know. I'm open to whoever is doing whatever they want.
Last one. Thank you.
Speaking of social media, of course, social media has very good aspect, but there's a side. Some players get hate messages or this kind of stuff. And a few days ago, Kazakina talked about that whenever she goes to the match, she makes sure that the turn off that like a message switch or something like that. So how do you deal with that kind of hate messages or bad aspect of social media?
Well, obviously in the beginning when I just got to the tour, it was pretty hard because it was all new to me. So when I saw the bad message, I clicked on it. I started to investigate who was this person, why did this person text me and all of that. But then after with time, I realized that everyone gets these kind of messages. And even though I think that when you win the match, you can also get a bad message if, I don't know, for whatever reason, the person decided to text you the message of any kind. But I just try not to be on social media too much. I sometimes repost stories or I post some photos, but other than that, I really try to turn off my phone and, I don't know, do something else and not to spend too much time there.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.